Good morning, friends, or good morning, sunshine. Sorry about that. So today I am out here because we are going to be working on the what I call the hill garden, which is this garden directly behind me. Um, right now it's overcast. As we all know, everyone has told you, and you know, it's been so hot. So I've been doing little things here and there. But I wanted to get out here today because I wanted to work on this hill garden. The last time we was on this hill garden, that pumpkin plant was inside this container up here. We had the pumpkin plant in here, and remember, it was trailing all down through in here. Well, it was driving me crazy. As much as I want everything to be like tight and I want all the spaces to fill in, after a while, I don't know about you, but I get irritated. And so I start cutting back. And so there was one ginormous pumpkin up there, not ginormous, but it was pretty big, that we were able to harvest. And I harvested that and I got it out the way. And I felt so much better. Like, it was really troubling me that was there. And so what I'm going to be doing and what I decided to do, and let me see if I can bring you guys a little closer. Okay, so here we are in the hill garden, and this is, let's see, this is the hill garden. Okay, and so what I decided to do, since I took out that pumpkin plant, is I've been thinking about this space. I've been sitting in my rocking chair, as I told you all that I do often, and I've just been thinking about this space and looking at this fence line. And up there I have 2 rows of Sharon that will get extremely, gain some height, some good height. Then I have this beautiful hydrangea here that I think only gets about 5 feet tall. So it has height. And then I have my Wigelia, which I love right here, that gets pretty tall, as we can see. I don't know the exact specs. I already said I'm going to be moving this Artemisia, but then back to the fence line. So then over here, you see how I kept up with some height, and then over here it kind of goes down. And I guess my thought process was kind of like follow the hill, go down, right, in height. And so right here I have a spirea. This is recently planted, and it's taken, it's gained some height. And then I meant to look it up, but once again, I forgot the name of this plant. But that is going to get tall from what I remember, and it's put. So here are the specs on the plants. Here's the name of the plants. It does grow 6 to 7 feet tall, so that's also good for the height of the space. It blooms white, which is also great because all these other plants bloom white as well. Some blooms. I'm going to try to look it up and remember to put it on the screen. And then I have the Lamian back there that I just keep back there, and I dig it up and move it to different spots. But as I sat and looked at this spot, I was like, I don't like the height difference and da-da-da-da. And then we have this big old plant right here, which I'm going to be cutting back, right? And then as you continue down a fence line, I had this pedestal that fit in great because it had, if you remember our other garden tour, I think that was in June, the June garden tour, you'll remember that I had these beautiful tall hostas surrounding this pedestal, but it was so hot and they were burning, so I moved them. And then this Russian sage was in a too shady spot. Now I'm going to see how this Russian sage does. If the Russian sage does not do well, I'm thinking the Artemisia might do good over here. But right now I just planted it, and 2 of them look good. This one is not dead, but boy, it looks like it's on its way. But this one already has a bloom. That one already has a bloom. So we're going to see. We're going to see what I'm going to do about that particular area. But what I did, and as I thought about this space, I said another hydrangea would be so good over here. I walked in the store yesterday. You know we love our clearance plants, and boom. And so what I was able to pick up was this Panicle hydrangea quick fire fab. And this, if we look at the specs on this, this gets to be about 6 to 8 feet tall, 5 to 6 feet wide. So I think that that will bring great height to this space right here. I also grabbed this butterfly bush. It was the only one. I have three butterfly bushes in my on the other side, and they bloom purple, and this one blooms white. So I said, well, that's pretty cool, because I have this rose here that's blooming white, and then I have this plant that is in a container. I'm gonna have to trim it back. That blooms white. And then right here, I have this red container that I can move. This one is not like those containers in the ground. I mean, I can move those too, but I have to spread out the dirt. But this container actually, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this container, and this is where I'm going to put the butterfly bush. I'm going to cut back this plant. I'm going to take this spirea out. And I told you all, I use some of my garden containers or my veggie containers, whatever you want to call it, for temporary spaces. So I'm going to take this spirea out, and I'm going to put it in this container temporarily until I know where I want its home to be. The lamium will stay, because that's like my hidden lamium. And I'm going to stick that hydrangea right here in this spot, and I think it will. Remember, the artemisia is supposed to be moving, but if you think 6 to 8 feet tall and 5 to 6 feet, that should fill out that space very well. For now, I'm going to leave this plant, and I'm going to remember to look up the specs on this plant. So that's what I'm going to be working on today on this hillside garden. So let's get to it. I also got this new cool tool made by WorkPro. So I'm going to be using this to trim that plant. Let's see how I do. So it's been charging. All I have to do is select which one of these I want to use, and then let's see. Oh, but the bees. There's bees. I gotta be careful. There's bees. And what I want to do is just kind of just make it look better. I'm trying to let the bees eat. Looks better already. This works pretty good, and that looks better already. I just wanted to tighten that up a little bit, and there's plenty of new growth in there. So I'm going to grab a couple of more, and yeah, I don't think I'm going to touch the top. Just wanted to clean it up around the sides. Just grab my Gorilla Cart. Out of the ground. Trying to position this on the hill in hopes it don't fall. So we're gonna get the spirea out the ground. And because it's new, it shouldn't be that hard to dig up. See? And honestly, now is not the best time to dig up plants and move them. But because it's so hot, but it rained last night. And also, as long as you water them in good, they should be fine. But, you really want to be planted in the fall and in the spring. So I'm going to just move this over here for now. And let's grab that hydrangea. This was a clearance plant. It was, let me see, it was, I think it was half off, of course, but it was originally priced at like 28 bucks. So we're gonna stick it in here. A couple of things, these are broke, but that's okay. We're just gonna take them off, clean it up, and it didn't need much cleaning up, so take those off.
You know I have all these sweaters.
Oh, okay, that's my son. So what I'm gonna put in the hole is plant tone. So the hole is pretty much dug for us because we had that spirea here. So let's just check out. Let's just make sure. Take out some more. Just sit this dirt to the side. That's another thing. We be mulching and then go back to planting. And I'm just throwing the dead debris in the hole. Yeah, that hole's great. And look, it's not too root bound, but I'm still going to rough up the roots a little bit. But it's actually fine, in my opinion. So I'm going to drop, I don't measure, and because I'm on a hill, did y'all just see that hydrangea roll down the hill? Give it a good start in this new location. Position it. Let me step back, make sure that's how I want it. I'm glad it has blooms. I'll enjoy these blooms this year. Take a step back again. Let me see. One more turn. I think. Yeah, I think that's good. I like that. Okay, now let's backfill it with the soil. Great. And all we have to do is water that in. Now for this spirea. Actually, I should have grabbed my son since he was out here. He's still out here. I'll grab him, have him move that pot. So until I get him, let's put the spirea where we're going to put it. Right there. So I don't have any gloves, but that's what. So I'm just and these right here are marigolds. Oh, I like it actually in here. This is called, what is this one called? Firelight spirea. So it changes like different colors, like in the fall. It will change colors. So let's step back. Actually, that looks pretty okay. I said temporary, but I don't know. We'll see if that will be a permanent location. Okay, let me get this pot moved, and then I think I could just grab it. I think my son is feeding the goats. Yeah, it's not too heavy. Let me just move this pot. Actually, I'll just push it down here out the way for now. Can y'all see that space? There you go. Now I think y'all can see the spot I was working in better. Let's get this gorilla cart moved out of the way. And grab the shovel that we left over here. And I want to center it. So I might have to shift the hole a bit. Let me turn y'all around a little bit. Trying to get this camera to, that's better. So I want to center it, the butterfly bush, between this flower we just trimmed up and that rose bush. So although the pot was here, I think I'm going to have to come over just a tad bit. Move some of this mulch. I think that butterfly bush is going to look great here. And butterfly bush don't like wet soil. It likes well draining soil. So this is a good spot. This hill is always sunny, as I told you all. It's always sunny. Oh, I didn't tell you the specs on this butterfly bush. It blooms white, as you can see. It's bloom. It's still putting out blooms. This gets 2 to 3 feet tall, and wide. 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. So I think this will be a great spot. Yes, I like that. So this is what the space looks like. We have our rose. This does get 4x4, I believe. We have our butterfly bush. That's going to be, what I say, 3 to 5 or 3 to 6. Let me just double check. But I already gave you all the specs. So what did I say? 2 to 3. Boy, was I off. This is 4x4. This is 2 to 3. This right here is whatever it blooms. And I think I'm going to go back in and trim it down. And then, yes, I love it. We have that hydrangea that's going to get 6 to 8 feet tall. So I think that helps with the height. When it grows up, it's going to be gorgeous. And I'll try to get the specs on this plant, as I said. All right, you guys, that's all I'm going to do for today. The sun is coming out. This hill garden is going to have a lot of changes, along with some other spaces. I have tons of plants over there that need to get in the ground. So things are going to move. Also, I forgot, we moved our spirea. The spirea, it looks good in there. Even if those marigolds were not in there, it would look good and fill out, kind of like this is filling out. I don't know, that might be its home. This garden bed has herbs in it though. So I don't know, because unless I move those herbs and put something else there that will, bring height and kind of bloom out like the spirea and this plant does. We'll see what happens, but I have right now sage and basil in there. Sage grows every year, so maybe I might be able to move it into another planter. Now I have to figure out where I'm going to put that planter, but it's not going to stay on this hill. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the videos here at PoweFolk Living. My name is Lakeisha, Massachusetts, Zone 6B. I always forget to tell you all that up front, but that breeze feels good. But once again, thank you for tuning in. Please like, please comment, please share. Let me know what you think. Do you like the change I did? I'm going to go ahead and water these in off camera, and that'll be it for the day. Bye. Blessings.